Hi, today's video is on Giving DNA's all new planned giving segments. So I am logged into the landing page of our platform. And what you see here at the top of the page is health of the organization. Something that's very different with Giving DNA is we actually encourage our clients to upload their constituent and giving file as frequently as they want to. Most of the time, you're uploading it at least once a month. But what that allows us to do is start telling you things like the health of your organization. How is your revenue doing year to year? What does your retention rate look like year over year? So just health of the organization at the top of the page because you're uploading that file more frequently. And then as I scroll down the left-hand side, we've got our opportunity alerts. So we're looking at things like retention. So what donors are lapsing? Of course, every month, different donors are about to lapse. So we need to be identifying them and lapsed where they're a year lapsed or 2 years lapsed. And then looking at things like acquisition and what strategies can we do within our own file to convert some of our non-donors to donors. And then our opportunity alerts like planned giving and monthly giving. These different opportunity alerts look at internal giving to your organization from a donor, as well as the external data that we append every time a file is uploaded, and then predict things like who are your next best planned givers. So we focus on some different data points than most planned giving scores do. We look at younger ages. We know people in the United States are writing their wills between 45 and 55 years old. So we're focusing on younger individuals as well as those older individuals so that we don't miss opportunities when somebody writes their will if they never rewrite their will. We also know that capacity is not a great predictor of planned giving, but the thing that is a very good predictor is how much that person is a fan to your organization. Are they giving to you frequently? Are they monthly givers? Have they given to you recently? These are all data points that are indicative that they really love your organization and would most likely be willing to provide you a planned gift. So once I've identified this new group of planned giving donors, I can do a couple of things. I could download this file really quickly to a CSV file, send it to my mail house, and ask them to send out a piece of direct mail to each of them with that glossy brochure for planned giving. But what I want to do instead is I want to look at this file and look at the data that Giving DNA has appended from the external sources that we have so that I can get a better understanding of who these people are. So as I click onto here, I pull up our constituent dashboard. And what you can see here is we're providing demographic, financial, psychographic information. This is not from your file. Many times I have people say, well, we don't have the age on our file. That's okay. We're appending the age onto your file. So you do not have to have the age. But we've got that younger age range. We've got gender. We've got marital status. We've got the number of children in home. The reason why we're at 0 is because we know that when people have children in their household, they're less likely to write you into their will. The number of children in a household does not mean that you don't have children. It just means those children are no longer in the household if it's 0. They're on their own. And that's when planned giving becomes more likely that they would be willing to write you into their will because they no longer are worried about if something were to happen to them, what would happen to their children in that time frame. So where are they located in a map? Household income. We're going to come back to a couple of these here in a second. Predicted discretionary spending. How much does somebody have left over after they pay their bills on an annual basis? Psychographic information like what are their political views? What are they interested in? Who are they giving to? This is really critical when you think of how you can personalize the conversation that you're going to have with a planned gift prospect based on the different things that they're interested in supporting. Maybe there's something in your organization that is of interest to them based on what they're already supporting as well. And then, critically important in plan giving in particular is communication preferences. Planned giving brochures tend to be heavier and cost more money to make. And so, because of that, if we can move more into a digital experience versus into a mail experience, it can actually save you money on your planned giving fundraising strategy. So, I'm going to go back up to the top and we're just going to chat through how easily I can segment this group of planned givers into some different communication strategies. So the first group I'm going to focus on are those younger plan giving prospects. These are people that are of the age that they're most likely thinking about writing their will for the first time. So I'm just going to grab those 13 people So you can see my big group of individuals is now just 13. I've got what gender they are, what their marital status is. I'm not going to pay any attention to any of this. I don't really care about their household income right now or even their predicted discretionary spending because I'm going to go to these people and ask them if they would consider us in a bequest where they would leave us a certain amount of money in their will. The only other thing that I want to look at is how many of them are responsive to digital. Because it's a younger group, they're typically a little bit more responsive digitally. And you can see of the 13, 11 of them are actually very likely or likely to respond to digital. So, what I can think about in this group is instead of sending them that more expensive brochure in the mail, create a nice digital brochure on planned giving. Maybe send them an email telling them about some free resources to write a will, and then your nice digital brochure, and then ask them if they are going to write their will, if they would consider including your organization in that will. So that's just a quick segmentation on that group. Now I'm going to grab a completely different group. I am going to grab people that, if you have a planned giving program that includes annuities, I'm going to focus on people who would be most responsive to annuity. So for that group, I'm going to go and focus on an older age. Why? Because most people that are interested in an annuity, they give you money and then they get income back off of that money. So when you think about who would be interested in an annuity, typically it's people who are retired, they're living on their Social Security and maybe some investment income, and they just would like to use another investment for some additional income. So I clicked on that same group of retirees basically, and now what I want to do is I might want to focus on lower income because again, an annuity is going to create some income for them. So I'm going to focus on maybe $100,000 or less in income. I might even do that a little lower, but for today we'll just do it at 100,000 because I'm going to add an additional piece of data on here, and that is I also want those people who have low predicted discretionary spending, which means they don't have much money left over after they've written their bills. So I've got 75 people that are over 64, $100,000 or less in income, and their predicted discretionary spending is on the low side. So now I've created this group of individuals who most likely would be interested potentially in an annuity because they're looking maybe for some additional income. That doesn't mean I wouldn't talk to them about a bequest or something else also, but it seems like the highest and best kind of conversation to have with them would be an annuity first. So you can see how I was very easily able to quickly segment two different groups with two different messages to help build out a more robust plan giving strategy. Hopefully, you found this helpful. Please feel free to reach out to us to ask us any questions. Thank you.